And joining us now for more is someone who's going to play a huge role in that. Donald Trump's new director of the Voice for America, Kari Lake, is joining us now. Kari, so good to see you.
Good to see you as well. It's fun to watch this kind of meltdown of the media, isn't it?
It's remarkable.
As they try to come back into the fold.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm undecided because, obviously this is our industry. You were an anchor in Arizona for more than 20 years. But I just think you evolve or you die. And I think that people, all of us here at Newsmax, yourself, you've got to have those dogfighting skills. You've got to be able to adapt. And these people at CNN and MSNBC and David Muir, who's never seen a mirror that he doesn't look into twice, these people are so fat and happy that I think they're going to go extinct over the next 4 years, Kari.
Well, they have two choices. They go extinct. They already are pretty much. I mean, their ratings are in the toilet. Or they realize that America spoke and that people love President Trump. They love America first. They love their country. They didn't want to vote for the demise of their country. They voted for the man who was going to fight for them. So it's time for them to come around and be fair journalists. Look, you don't have to join the President Trump fan club, but just cover him fairly. Stop with the character assassination. Stop with the smear campaign. We're going into the 4 most historic years, I believe, possibly in our history. And, I would just appeal to them. You don't want to miss out on covering this incredibly historic period. You don't want to miss out on covering the most consequential president in our lifetimes and possibly the most consequential president in the history of our country, one of the most consequential leaders in human history. So, lick your wounds, swallow your pride, and jump in and be a journalist and save yourself right now. Save yourself by being a journalist and maybe save the industry while we're at it.
Yeah, I think it's remarkable. PolitiFact, with their biggest lie of the year, that the Haitian migrants are eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio. And we're going to talk about this in a little bit tonight, but not the cover-up of Joe Biden. Kari, we were talking about this 4 years ago here on Newsmax, and I can remember just people in polite company kind of laughed at us like we were like heretics. And I was like, well, wait a second. I'm seeing it with my own eyes. I'm not a doctor, but you don't have to be a doctor to realize that something's not right with Joe Biden. The cheese slipped off the cracker a long time ago, and that was evident to anybody who was open and honest and willing to look.
And to be honest, Rob, I think it was evident to the people in the corporate media as well. But they were continuing to push their gaslighting on the American people. Everything's fine. Look, don't look over here. Look over here instead. And then when they realized the polling was not going to go their way, they had to make a change. It was as if they were all on cue and they immediately all turned on him in hopes of getting a better candidate. And the irony of it all is, I can't even imagine that I'm saying this, they got a worse candidate. They did. They got a candidate who the American people liked even less than Joe Biden, which is saying something. And then they tried to push that and gaslight the people again. And the American people have a really good BS detector. I really believe that. And they can smell the BS that the media's been pushing, and they've had it up to here with it. They just don't want any more of the lies. And so my message to the media, the corporate media, is come around. Realize that you've been wrong, and come around and start being an honest reporter again, an honest network again, and cover this incredible moment in history or miss out on it and go extinct.
Yeah, Kristen Welker, I was upset with the former president for giving NBC the first interview since becoming president-elect. And then I saw him just handle Kristen Welker, and they're so out of touch. She was like, and are you still going to go forward with deporting criminals that are here illegally? And he was like, yeah. And I felt like being like, Kari, 60% of the American people, that's a CBS poll, 60% of the Americans support deporting illegals that are here that have committed crimes. Right. They're so out of touch with the mainstream. I want to talk about you. You're going to have a big role in this, and you're going to have the president's ear. You're going to run Voice for America. Donald Trump said on Truth Social that Kari Lake will ensure the American values and ensure that they're broadcast around the world fairly and accurately, unlike the lies spread by the fake news media. You were an anchor yourself in the media for a long time. What's your plan?
I just want to see fair, honest coverage from Voice of America. I want to see them covering America and our freedoms and our democracy around the world. This is a media outlet that is geared toward the international market. So we want to be telling the story of America and in a fair and accurate way. Starting January 20th, it's Morning in America again, and we want to make sure that we're spreading the message of America across the globe. Some historic events will be happening in the next 4 years, and we want to have fair, accurate coverage of those events, fair, accurate coverage of this administration. And I'm looking forward to growing the audience even more and making sure that our tax dollars are well spent. If we can, we'll get rid of redundancy. Where there's waste, we'll get rid of waste. And we will start making sure we have a very pro-America and honest news outlet that is broadcasting to the world.
Well, Kari, I wish you the best of luck. We'll be with you there every step of the way. If Voice for America needs office space, you could take over that NPR building right in the middle of Washington, D.C., that $100 million building they've got there. Kari Lake, great having you on. Thank you.
Thank you so much.